What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Got a cool one for you today. Out here at GoVR Golf in Chilliwack. This is going to be my new training spot where I'm going to get all my data this off season. They're really close to my house, which is awesome. And for those days when it's really cold, or just when you want to play like proper sim golf, this is where home is going to be. I'm going to take you on a little tour of the place, and then we're going to take some swings, get some numbers. It's awesome. All right, so they got 3 bays here. Look at this. Bay number 1. We got a second bay here. Look at this. My bay, bay number 3 here. Fully loaded, Unicore simulators. Really cool, actually. There's some stuff we're gonna show you today with the simulators that I haven't seen with any other product before. So anyway, let's get warmed up and let's get working. All right, now that we're warmed up, feeling good. Guys, the vibe here, I love this place. It's so so good, so chill. We even got our own little couch here. Like, perfect place to come chill and practice, especially when it's super cold out or when we get all those days of rain. So love it. All right, feeling good, feeling warmed up. We're gonna do a little gapping session. Gonna go through the whole bag now and just kind of get a sense of what our distances are like. And I'll show you guys some of the data, and let's see where we're at. All right, guys, the coolest thing I love about this software is it gives you a live video feed of your club face actually hitting it. That was pretty out the middle, as you can see, which led to some pretty good numbers here. But I think, like, look at that. You can see exactly where the ball's hitting on it, and that's pretty incredible. So not bad, pretty good launch conditions. But yeah, love this part of the software. All right, guys, we are back here at the house. Got all the data in front of us now. Now that you saw some swings, how great is that place? Honestly, guys, if you're in Chilliwack, check out GoVR Golf. That place is amazing, and I'm really looking forward to getting back in there and doing a lot more content for you guys. So if there's any other types of videos you guys want to see me do in a simulator, put in the comments below. We'll make sure we get those rocking this off season. Okay, so let's dive into the numbers. All testing was done with a Titleist Pro V1, just so you guys know, because this way if I send these numbers to anybody, I can tell them it's with the Pro V1. It's just easy for them to reference and understand and be able to provide help. So anyway, okay, let's dive into what we got. So first, let's dive into the numbers. Now, again, the whole point of today was to just get general averages. I wasn't swinging super hard. I was swinging more my normal speeds because I just want to get a sense of, one, actually what my new yardages are based on all the strength gains and everything I've been doing. And then two, I want to see my shot patterns, dispersion, all these things. How are all my clubs working, right? Because that's also now as we start to refine and fix parts of the swing, we need to make sure that everything I'm doing is working kind of cohesively. And so I want to now see, am I creating optimal launch conditions to play good golf, right? So first thing actually here I'll show you is I'll pull up the dispersion chart. So this is basically the shot patterns for everything from 60-degree wedge all the way down to driver. As you can see, there's some good spots in there, and then there's some areas where it's like, whoa, what's going on? Now, thankfully, there's nothing like too far left or too far right, which is good. So we're staying in our lane, but there's definitely room for improvement, and we'll dive into that. So first thing, 60-degree wedge, average carry, 99 yards, totally fine. Maybe I could get that to like 110 with the stiffer shaft. Who knows? I am spinning it at 11,000 RPM is my average, so who knows? But 100 yards to that, I got no problem. Second club, we have the 54-degree wedge. That's flying 112 yards, 12-yard gap, not bad. Again, spinning it at almost 12,000 RPM, so that's a healthy amount of spin going into greens, which is fine. Again, if you look at the dispersion chart, it gets a little, like obviously my 60-degree wedge is like money. This little dot, everything is super, super close on that. It gets a little bit wider with the 54-degree, but again, nothing wild. And then ball speed, 94 miles per hour ball speed. I'm not even sure what the ball speeds are supposed to be with a wedge, but not bad, I guess. Moving on to my 50-degree wedge now. 130-yard average carry. So that's jumping up from 112 with the 54-degree wedge. Now it's 130 yards. That's good. 18-yard gap. Still plenty of spin. Average spin on this is 9,600 RPM. So again, not a problem. Dispersion wise, really tight. So really don't have any issues with this. I'm excited to see if when I put the actually extra stiff shafts here, I think my wedges are fine. I like the wedges. The only thing I might debate doing is adjusting the lie angle on them because I think they sit a little upright, but we'll get more into that later. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this being the gap for these wedges. All right, next moving on to my pitching wedge. So pitching wedge is flying average carry, 143 yards, 112 miles per hour ball speed, and around 8,800 RPMs of spin. Dispersion was pretty good. Again, nothing too wild, no major causes for concern. So we're all good on that front. Next club, we have a 9-iron. So 9-iron was flying average carry, 159 yards, so basically 160 yards. And again, with 8,300 RPMs of spin, so still a healthy amount of spin there. And ball speed, 122 miles per hour. So not bad at all. Next, jumping into 8-iron. That's flying 175 yards and ball speed 130 miles per hour, which is good, with 7,300 RPMs of spin. Again, dispersion wise, up to this point, everything's looking pretty good. Like everything's kind of within my shot pattern, nothing too wild. Had it like, in terms of like shortest to longest in these, my shortest was 173 and my longest was 180. So in terms of depth of the shot patterns, I think up to this point too, like none of my shot patterns are super deep in terms of front to back, which is also interesting. So it means my distances are actually pretty good. Like I don't have like crazy amounts of depth, short and long between clubs, which I thought was interesting. So anyway, 7-iron. We're flying 7-iron, 188 yards. Swing speed was around 100 miles per hour on this. I had the stickers on the club. So again, like normally I'm swinging it a little faster. But again, like I said, I wasn't trying to absolutely hammer the ball today. On the course, I've carried my 7-iron further than this, but I probably don't want to swing that hard yet. 188 yards. You know, I had one fly in this group, 192. Ball speed was 135 miles per hour and about 6,400 RPMs a spin. This is where I'll need somebody more knowledgeable than me to take a look at the data and give me an idea of how my stuff looks, because I am curious as to how all these numbers are working together. But again, up to this point, gapping doesn't look too outrageous. It looks like it's manageable, and dispersion patterns, again, left to right, aren't that bad, and even front to back, like they still, as you can see here, like they stay in a pretty good spot. So 7-iron, pretty good. 6-iron, carrying at 200, 5,600 RPMs a spin, and 139 mile per hour ball speed. My peak ball speed with 6-iron was 143 in one of the 5 shots. This one started to drift a little more to the right than the other ones, but that's fine. Again, no major cause for concern, like to be expected for swinging smooth, right? Like these are supposed to be smooth swings. So average carry on a 6-iron, you know, 200. I probably want to see that more around 205 to 208 within the context of this. But again, this is where things start to shift now between 6-iron to my hybrid. And you'll see coming up, this is where things get a little weird. So if we look at the 5-iron now, I jumped 20 yards in carry with my 5-iron. So I carry my 5-iron 220. My ball speed on my 5-iron is 145 miles per hour and my spin is 4,700. But then if you look at my 4-iron, I carry that 223 with 147 miles per hour ball speed and 4,700 RPMs of spin. So I basically have 2 of the same iron right here. So something is up there because I have 2 of the same club. They're doing the exact same thing. So that's where the gapping issues. And if you also see too, the shot patterns go really wide there. So all my other shot patterns up to that point are pretty clustered. And then as you can see here, it all of a sudden just gets like super wide. So that's an area for concern that I know I need to address with the clubs. Next up, we have a 3 hybrid. Average carry is 257 yards. Ball speed was really high, 160 mile per hour ball speed, 3,600 RPMs of spin. Didn't really hit this as well as I would have liked in this session. This is one of my more reliable clubs when it comes to being on the course. And for some reason, I don't know, it just wasn't my day with it, but good to see high ball speed numbers. You know, some people aren't even getting their driver up to 160 miles per hour ball speed. So I'll take that. Next we have 3-wood, and 3-wood 278 yard average, 169 mile per hour ball speed. That's really good ball speed. 3,200 RPMs a spin. Again, shot pattern was decent. Like not as, this one probably had the most front to back of any of the shot patterns, which was interesting. Hit it okay. Don't think I hit it like particularly well, but you know, it is what it is. And then finally we have the driver. 311 carry average. Average club speed was 122 miles per hour across all the shots. And actually this one had more shots. I think I had 8 in this one instead of 5 like the rest of them. So average club head speed's 122. And now guys, like that's not me trying to swing hard. So that's interesting because that's my cruising kind of speed, which was quite shocking. So we peaked at 178 miles per hour ball speed. Average was 174 miles per hour ball speed. But the concerning here is the spin rate's really low, like averaging spin around 1,600. So that's something, an area for concern. I think I have an idea as to why, and we'll get into that in a second. Looking at all the data here, looking at everything, I would say like wedges through to 6-iron, life's pretty good. 4 and 5-iron, there's something wrong there. This was my concern that I mentioned a couple weeks ago in the vlogs about playing this style of iron. My issue with blades is that with my cruising speed on a 7-iron being 100 miles per hour, right? Like that's me swinging without trying to really give it, right? And I feel like I'm leaving opportunities on the table by having blades in the bag. And I think I could benefit from having a little bit more forgiveness. Obviously, there's something wrong with the loft and lie angles of this club because they're doing the exact same thing. So there's a technical issue that's there. But this is where I think in this part of the bag, I could benefit from more forgiveness, because there's a very weird gap also that exists from my 6 iron to my hybrid, right? There's, as you can see here in the chart, like there's like a little no man's land area because the 5 iron and the 4 iron aren't doing their thing. So if I know I can hit my 6 iron further than I'm hitting it now. And if I can hit that further, I can push the 5 iron to where it is, and I can push the 4 iron even further if that was dialed in properly, which would then smooth out this whole gapping thing. So this is where like, it's unfortunate, but you know, I probably will have to make an adjustment to my irons in some capacity. Because again, at the time, this is my issue with like, this has been my struggle with custom fitting and getting clubs and stuff done. I was hoping I had solved this problem already, but the issue with, you know, improving in custom fitting, right, is that up to this point, like every time I've tried to tweak clubs or gotten clubs tweaked, it's always been to fix an issue with my swing. And this is what I didn't know, right? When I first got initially fit, when I got fit a second time, the problem is that things were a Band-Aid for issues in my swing, and I didn't know at the time how significant those issues were, and I should have fixed those first, because this is the time when I should go get custom fit right now. When I've got my swing pretty dialed, I know where I want the ball to generally go, and I've got my mechanics, and now this is when you get custom fit, not before, because now I have to make adjustments again. And the other adjustment I have to make is on the driver end. The reason why the spin is so low is because when I got fit for this driver, the reason why we have a 9-degree head is because at the time, the way my mechanics were, I was generating more spin. But this wasn't presented to me when I was getting fit. And this is the thing I struggle with, is that fitting is a Band-Aid for poor mechanics if you're trying to get better. Because as soon as you get better and fix that Band-Aid, well, now that Band-Aid no longer works, right? And so what you're seeing is like, I hit that ping driver really well, but I probably don't need a 9-degree head now because I'm launching it at 11 degrees. I could probably get that 400 RPMs of spin I want back so that I'm cruising around 2000 RPMs of spin if I just got a 10.5-degree head. But the reason I have a 9-degree head is because at the time I had poor mechanics. And so I didn't know. And this is my issue with custom fitting in general, is that if you're not told that your swing is not in the right spot, then you make these decisions and you commit yourself financially to these things. And then if you do fix your swing, well, then all of a sudden the tool you purchased is no longer the tool you thought it was for you. And that's just super frustrating, because it's just like, it feels like never ending on this, like these gear ups and downs sometimes. So all in all, again, everything's good. Like for cruising numbers, this is great. I am excited to see what my full tilt numbers can be, because I know I've got more speed in the tank that I didn't even exert in this session. But it also confirms some things I had known, which is I just don't think these irons are going to be tournament viable irons for me, which is fine. I think I might need to address a different loft with the driver. Now, maybe if I keep gaining more speed will equal more spin. And also, maybe I could also play a spinnier ball, which I would like, because I really like playing the Bridgestone BXS. I would really like to play potentially a spinnier golf ball for more greenside control. So I don't know, we'll see. But again, I'm spinning my wedges a ton. So if I play a spinnier golf ball, am I gonna have crazy wedge spin? Like this is now, you have to look at the macro level of where this all sits. But good information, and this is a good snapshot. So now we have this banked, and I'm gonna be able to reference this, and we're gonna just constantly check in with the gapping sessions, my shot patterns, all of these things, and just touch base and see where improvements need to be made, where tweaks need to be made. But all in all, for a first real gapping session I've done, this is great. So anyway, hope you guys found this useful. Let me know if there's anything more you guys want to see from a gapping perspective, or anything you want me to see me film in the simulator. We're just gonna get back to that grind. Hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.